Alright, quick question. When was the last time you plugged something into your phone with a wire and it just worked? No adapter, no Bluetooth pairing, no device not found, no battery to charge, just music, instantly. Yeah, I miss that too. Because somewhere between 2016 and now, the tech industry collectively decided that the port that had existed over 50 years was inconvenient, outdated. And today, we are going to find out exactly who killed the headphone jack, why they did it, and whether any of it was actually justified, or if we just got fooled by the biggest con in consumer tech history. Hello guys, my name is Prath and let's get started. Let's start at the beginning, because before we talk about how it died, let's remember what it actually was. The 3.5mm headphone jack, officially called the TRS connector, was invented in 1870s. This thing is older than the car, older than the airplane, older than the sliced bread, literally. It was originally used in telephone switchboards operated by operators who manually plugged the cables into boards to connect calls, which honestly sounds exhausting but also kinda cool.
San Francisco, hold for conference. Seattle, hold for conference. Los Angeles, hold for conference. Special agents.
Fast forward to 1960s, Sony makes it smaller for transistor radio. Then the Walkman in 1979 makes it iconic. Suddenly everyone's walking around with wires dangling from their ears, looking mysterious and cool. For 50 years, it just worked. You plug it in, sounds come out. Revolutionary concept, I know. It survived the cassette era, the CD era, and MP3 era, the iPod era, and then in 2016, Apple looked at this 50-year-old, universally loved, perfectly functional technology and said, yeah, we're gonna remove that. Mark this day in your history books. People, September 7, 2016.
Well, the reason to move on, I'm going to give you three of them, but it really comes down to one word: courage. The courage to move on, do something new that betters all of us.
Apple's Phil Schiller walks onto the stage at the Steve Jobs Theater. Well, actually, it was Bill Gates' Graham Civic Auditorium at this point, and he says the most iconic passive-aggressive sentence in tech history. It comes down to one word: courage. Removing a headphone jack from a $1,000 phone and putting it in a smaller box is not courage. That's just nerve, which is different. The crowd reaction, by the way, was uncomfortable silence followed by polite applause, which is the tech word's equivalent of standing ovation at a funeral. And just like that, the iPhone 7 launched without a 3.5mm jack. In the box, a lightning to headphone adapter and earports with lightning connector. So they didn't really remove the headphone jack, they just made you buy the adapter to use it. Let's see if it pays off. Spoiler, it did. Here's where it gets interesting, and this is the part most people get wrong. Apple did not remove the headphone jack first. I know, shocking. In 2016, the same year as iPhone 7, Li Eco, a Chinese tech company you have probably never heard of, launched the multiple phones without headphone jack before Apple. And in 2014, the Oppo R5 launched as one of the thinnest phones in the world, partly because it ditched the jack. So why does everyone blame Apple? Because when Apple does something, the entire industry follows. Apple didn't just remove a port, they gave every other Android manufacturer permission to do the same. It's like when a popular kid in a school starts wearing a weird hat, suddenly everyone's wearing that weird hat. Apple is the popular kid, except the hat cost $999. Within 2 years of iPhone 7, Google removed it from Pixel 2, Samsung kept it while absolutely roasting Apple in ads. Oh, the Samsung ads. Let's talk about those for a second. Samsung ran a full campaign mocking Apple for removing the jack. Billboard, TV spots, social media, and ad literally showed someone walking around with a dongle, calling it the courage it takes to use the headphone jack. Hilarious, genuinely. And then in 2019, Samsung quietly removed the headphone jack from the Galaxy S10. No announcement, no press conference, no courage speech. They just did it and hoped nobody noticed. We noticed, Samsung, we all noticed. Okay, so Apple and other gave us a bunch of reasons for the removal. Let's go through them one by one and rate how believable they actually are. Reason number 1. Thinner phones. The argument was the headphone jack takes up space, removing it lets us make thinner phone. Verdict: partially true, mostly suspicious. Yes, the jack takes up the space, but iPhone 7 was not noticeably thinner than the iPhone 6s. And at some point, did anyone ask for thinner phones? Thinner was not the demand, thinner was the excuse. Reason 2. More space for battery. We can use that space for a bigger battery. The iPhone 7's battery life was a little better, not life-changing. And phones have only gotten bigger since then. So, verdict: nice try. Reason number 3. Water resistance. Okay, this one actually makes some sense. Sealing the phone from water resistance is genuinely easier without an open port. But here's the thing. Plenty of phones are IP67 and IP68 rated with a headphone jack. Sony did it for years, so this argument has holes in it. Verdict: plausible, but not the whole story. Reason number 4. Wireless is the future. Bluetooth audio is better. AirPods are the future. Go wireless. And look, AirPods are incredible. But in 2016, Bluetooth audio quality was all over the place. There was a delay between video and sound. Battery life on wireless earbuds was just okay. Also, you know what doesn't need charging? A wire. Verdict: convenient timing, suspiciously profitable. Speaking of which, let's follow the money, shall we? When Apple removed the headphone jack, they also released the AirPods. Coincidence? Sure, absolutely, totally. AirPods launched at $159. They became the best-selling wireless earbuds in history. By 2019, AirPods were generating an estimate of $6 billion a year of Apple. That's more revenue than companies like Twitter, Spotify, or Snapchat, entire companies, generated in a year. And it's not just AirPods, there's Lightning adapter at $9, the Lightning AirPods at $29, third-party Lightning headphones that had to pay Apple just to work with their headphones, the whole accessories market that blew up overnight. Now, I'm not saying Apple removed the headphone jack to sell more accessories. I'm just saying they removed the headphone jack and then made billions selling accessories. It was definitely to sell accessories. Here's the part of the video where we stop laughing for a second. Musicians and audio professionals suddenly had to carry adapters everywhere. Imagine being a touring musician who uses in-ear monitors. Now your whole setup needs a workaround because your backup phone doesn't have a jack. Commuters and travelers. You know the pain. You want to charge a phone and listen to music on a 4-hour flight. Cheap Bluetooth earbuds in 2016-2018 were genuinely terrible, laggy, poor sound, fell out constantly. Gamers. There's a tiny delay in Bluetooth audio and in competitive gaming that actually matters. Wired headphones are instant. Bluetooth? You're hearing gunshots after you're already dead. That makes me laugh. And perhaps most overlooked, accessibility. There are people who rely on specific wired hearing devices that plug into the headphone jack. The removal of that port wasn't a minor inconvenience for them. It was a genuine barrier. Once Apple pulled the trigger, the dominoes fell fast. Let's run through the casualty list. 2016, iPhone 7, the shot heard around the world. 2017, Google Pixel 2. Google, who literally made fun of Apple's dongle life, they did remove the jack 1 year later. 2018, UAE P20 Pro, gone. 2019, Samsung Galaxy S10, the biggest betrayal. Samsung literally mocked Apple's in ads and then did the same thing 3 years later. 2020, OnePlus 8, another one bites the dust. 2021, Apple removes the charger and the adapter from the box. So now you buy the phone and you need to separately buy the adapter to use the headphones, and that no longer come in the box. It's kind of genius, really, in an evil way. By 2022, finding a flagship Android phones with a headphone jack was likely finding a parking spot at a mall on December 23rd. Technically possible, practically maybe, I don't know. The only major holdouts? Samsung's A series budget phones, and ironically, Apple's own iPads keep the headphone jack for years longer than the iPhone. And then, oh, this is my favorite part. The EU stepped in. In 2022, the European Union passed a law requiring all smartphones to use USB-C as the standard charging port by 2024. This was meant to cut down on the tech trash and make one charger work for everything. Apple, who had been using their own special lightning port and defending it for years, had to switch to USB-C on iPhone 15 in 2023, which means Apple spent 7 years defending the removal of a port that everyone already used and then was legally forced to adapt another port that everyone already uses. Beautiful. Truly beautiful. And here's the kicker. USB-C supports audio output, so in theory, you could use USB-C wired headphones without an adapter on a modern iPhone or Android. In practice, almost nobody does. The ecosystem never developed, and we are just all using AirPods or adapters anyway. The headphone jacks is dead. The USB-C audio is barely alive, and we're all just vibing with Bluetooth and pretending the battery dying mid-song isn't a professional attack. So, stepping back, was removing the headphone jack actually worth it? Arguments for AirPods are genuinely incredible technology. Wireless audio has gotten better, water resistance is more reliable, phones are more sealed and durable overall. Argument against. Adapters are annoying. Bluetooth still has that annoying tiny delay. We lost plug and play overnight, and the sound quality from good wired setup still beats wireless in most tests. The honest answer is, it was worth it for Apple. It was a money move dressed up as innovation, and it worked really well. For us, the consumers, we adapted, literally, and we do not had any choice. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. Who actually killed the headphone jack? Was it Apple? Yes, partially. They pulled the trigger and gave the industry permission to follow. Was it Samsung and Google? Yes. They made fun of Apple and then did the exact same thing, which just made everything move faster. Was it us, the consumers? Also yes. We bought the phones, we bought the AirPods, we adapted, we complained on Twitter and then upgraded anyway. Was it the obsession with making phones look thinner and fancier instead of just useful? Absolutely. Was it just companies being greedy and calling it progress? I mean, it's giving that energy. The real answer is that it wasn't one villain. It was a perfect mix of companies wanting more money, everyone copying each other, us just going along with it, and some real tech improvements that together wiped out a 50-year-old thing almost overnight. The headphone jack didn't die because it was bad, it died because too many powerful companies decided it was inconvenient to them. And that, my friend, is how we ended up paying $250 for earbuds that we have to charge, that we lose, that dog eats, and fall out mid-run because the $3 wire was apparently too much to handle. I'm not here to say wireless is bad, it's mostly fine because me myself use earbuds all the time. But I don't think we should be honest about what happened here. The headphone jack wasn't moved for us. It was removed because companies made more money without it. And we were sold a story about courage and future to make us feel okay about it. The good news, the 3.5mm jack lives on in gaming headsets, studio equipment, budget Android phones, and with hardcore audio fans everywhere, the humble little port that asked for nothing, needed no charging, never dropped a connection, and simply worked. We did not deserve it. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and please let me know in the comments, do you miss the headphone jack or are you fully in the wireless era? I genuinely want to know. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.